Hey, hello YouTube, Trademark Kill here, and today we have another RWBY video. Now, usually what happened, at least in the Volume 3 series, is that around Wednesday to Thursday every week, they would release a Coming Up Next RWBY Volume 3, and it'd be a preview of the next episode. They didn't do it this week, or this series, or at least they haven't done it yet. So I'm going to do these regardless of if they do their own little preview. And so usually I do a kind of a prediction on what the episode's going to cover. So in this series, in this episode, I'm going to be doing kind of a prediction on episode 2 of volume 4. And if they do their own previews later on in the season, I'll do my analysis and prediction off their reviews. So with that being said, here we go. At the end of episode 1, we left off on Weiss walking off screen and a door closing and her butler telling her her father wished to talk to her. This is probably going to be the scene from the opening where she's talking to her father, and there's going to be that military personnel behind him. And that's going to probably lead into that scene, and we're going to see a lot of Weiss's information. We're going to get a lot of her catching up to do on Weiss, and I feel that this episode is going to be solely centered on Weiss, with a transition similar to episodes 1 from Ruby to Team Ranger to Weiss. In episode 2, it's going to be all Weiss with a transfer to Blake at the end, and that's where we're going to leave off. And I do believe that, and I'll talk more about this next week, is that there's going to be a split episode for both Blake and Yang, since I think they're the most two connected characters in terms of story. Now, I feel they're going to get a lot of sadness coming from this, a lot of feel-bad moments. When you're talking about Weiss, I do feel we're going to get a really hard feeling of her, like the death grip her father has on her life, especially now that it's tightened since the fall of Beacon. And I think we're going to get a lot of feelings towards that, and a lot of her emotions going to come out, and that's what we're going to be reacting to. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of breakout moment in this episode that's going to set her next few arcs in motion, or her next chapter in motion, when it comes to what she is going to be doing later on in not just the volume, but in the entire overarching story as a whole. I won't be surprised if they rush it a little bit and give it a lot of information and the motivation for her to break away from her father, and give her that start in episode 2, since unless this is a 24 episode season, they're not going to have a lot of time to build that up, unless they're only going to build up certain characters, and then they're going to leave a few question marks for season 5 to 6. Which would be interesting to see them split up like that. However, I do think we're going to get a little bit of every of our 4 main girls this coming volume, and I think this is going to be Weiss's showtime for that. So I have a feeling that she's going to get in an argument with her father, but the military officer that's with her father in this, at least setup, is going to be what stops her from doing anything. And if this could be kind of a military deal or something that goes on, but this could all between the Schnees and Atlas. But this could also be kind of her call to go to and study at Atlas, and that would be interesting. I kind of don't want that to happen. I do want her to be a free bird when it comes to what she can and can't do. So I don't want her to be tied down to any school with a team, because I don't think she would be the type, regardless of how much she hates her father and would want to go against her father, if she was stuck with a team, especially with the team that she had in Beacon with Ruby, Blake, and Yang. I don't think she'd be the type to abandon them and leave Atlas. So I don't want this to be a situation where she is being tied down to go to Atlas. I do kind of just want her to be under the iron thumb of her father, and kind of explore that range a little bit in terms of what she's going to be doing, and what she's going to be, how she's going to react to be kind of living this life of solitude. I won't be surprised if they kind of do the Snow White and the 7 Dwarves, where she's going to be guarded at all times by 7 Atlas personnel. Would be really kind of, not necessarily hilarious, but just a cute little gesture, if anything. But yeah, that's basically, I do really think we're going to get a lot of her backstory and her setup this episode. I don't think there's going to be a fight episode. I think one of the reasons she was so pushed. The episode 1 was so pushed at 18 minutes was because they felt like they needed to come in with a hard fight scene. I don't think we're gonna get another long episode like that. I think that's gonna be the longest episode of the season up until the finale. So that will be, a few episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if this episode's around 14 to 15 minutes, and that would be. Oh yeah, I think that actually thinking about it, that'd be about right to get her in position, especially since they already have the setup from her being told she's going to talk to her father from the last episode. It just depends on to what extent are they going to set her up. I don't think they're going to give her everything in terms of what they're going to tell us through her, but I do think there's going to be a lot of allusion to what she's going to go through, and I just feel like we're going to find that her father is going to be I don't want to say anti-hero, because he's going to be a villain that's not a villain, basically. He's just going to be an obstacle and a MacGuffin, maybe, to put Weiss into a position to break free, and he's going to be, I guess, anti-hero, but maybe an anti-villain or something like that. We're not going to fight him directly. We're not going to fight the big bad of the Schnee family, at least not right now. But we are going to have our first piece of resistance from the Schnee family, and that's going to be the Mr. Schnee himself, or maybe there's going to be some sort of draw to if the person we saw in the opening is Weiss's brother, the smaller Schnee-looking child. There might be some hesitation from Weiss herself to leave because of her brother and the stuff she knows her brother is going to go through now that he's older. But I do think the majority of what we're going to be getting in this episode is the setup for her to fight, or to fight against her father's orders. And I think we're going to finally get that hero Weiss. I don't want to say hero Weiss, but like that super motivated, I'm not just fighting, I'm not I don't want to be the best for myself. I want to be the best for the people around me, Weiss. And I think we're going to finally get that motivation to do that. And overall, that's just kind of the key word of the episode. We're going to get motivation for this episode. And as I said, I don't think there's too much more than that. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, Sherman goes out. Peace.